It has been a season of milestones for the Michigan basketball team, but their goal of winning a Big Ten championship for a second consecutive season slipped through their hands on Sunday afternoon at Chrysler Center against the Indiana Hoosiers. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. I'm Matt Shepard. No team in the Big Ten had gone unbeaten at home so far this season. The Wolverines were the last one standing. They were 17-0 going into the game Sunday against Indiana, but they needed a knockout to gain a share of the Big Ten crown for a second consecutive season, the first time that would happen in school history since 1986. The Hoosiers' incentive was simple. They wanted their first outright crown since 1993, and they were the ones who left Ann Arbor smiling most. Indiana started focused and possessed, hitting 4 of their first 7 shots, including a pair of triples from Jordan Hulls.
Skip pass to Oladipo, to Hulls for 3 in the corner. Yes. Kid kills Michigan.
Michigan would then turn the tables and bolt out to a 12-0 run led by Nick Stauskas, who hit a pair of clutch threes.
Darts baseline, feeds opposite side. Stauskas for 3. Bring it up!
And a circus shot inside.
Stauskas settles it down, around a curl, takes it in the paint, hangs off the glass, rolls down!
IU, though, would crawl back into it with a 5-0 spurt of their own, establishing a low post presence with Cody Zeller and Victor Oladipo.
Zeller missed the free throw, rebounded by Watford. Watford put it back, dumped it inside, Oladipo hooked it home.
Glenn Robinson would provide the same for Michigan, and they would take a 3-point halftime lead, 33-30, into the locker room.
Hardaway pulls it back, bounce pass back door, Robinson, reverse layup, good, and one.
The second half was nothing short of a slugfest, a heavyweight title bout. Cody Zeller was using his quickness and size inside for IU.
McGarry against Zeller, reverse layup, good. Zeller now with 14.
While Trey Burke was counterpunching with his dazzling array of shots.
Penetrates, fires, Burke for 3 in the corner. Yes! Oh. Burke goes to work against Hulls. Shoulder shakes, drives, leans, floater on the way, and it drops.
Burke, limited to 4 in the first half, exploded in the second, scoring 16 points and finishing with a team-high 20. But in the end, the Wolverines missed too many free throws. Hardaway and Burke missed the front end of 1-and-1s, and that allowed IU to make it a one-possession game.
Bounce pass Zeller, inside, double clutches, scored! With 14 seconds to go, 72-71 Indiana.
Michigan did have a final look, but it rolled off. And Indiana wins it 72-71, their first outright Big Ten crown since 1993. Well, you've been a part of a lot of tough losses. How does this rank?
You know, you look at the atmosphere of this game, you look at the way we lost it, it's tough, but not like when you some of the other losses we've had where we've, up at Michigan State where we got out of the game, Ohio State, got out of the game early and tried to come back. We're going to have these things happen. And the only strategy you can have now is grow from it. And, we're not happy, and we got some guys that all had key plays that have won game after game after game and didn't have as good a plays this time. But we'll the coach's job right now is to make everybody stronger, not to lament about it, not to chastise people or blame people, make everybody stronger.
2 areas that a lot of people will focus on. I want your thoughts on it. First, the free throw shooting, especially down the stretch where your team misses 3 of their final 4.
Yeah, I mean, those are plays that the first thing people will point to. At the same time, we will say, hey, those guys, it was many plays within the game, not those foul shots that you could put a blame on in the game. At the same time, those 2 guys, particularly Trey and Tim, have won a ton of games from us in the foul line. They've been the guys. If they say, hey, we're going to get somebody fouled late in the game, it's going to be Tim and Trey. And they both missed them, and that's the way it goes.
And, of course, the rebounding aspect, they had 53 a season high against you, and a season high 24 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, the 53 isn't a thing. It's the 24 offensive rebounds because they're getting shots that we miss, and we're trying to get the extra putbacks. But we're in foul trouble. We really missed Mitch today being in foul trouble because he is one of our better rebounders. At the same time, it's one of those things that we just got to get better. I'm telling everybody, as a coaching staff, we have never emphasized boxing out as much in my life, and we do it every day. And sometimes when the games go up, we don't get it done, or through dribble penetration. there's nobody to box out because 2 guys are guarding the ball. So I got to look at it. We got to address it. It's on me.
You wear a lot of different hats as a head coach. A coach, a mentor, a father figure, a psychiatrist sometimes. What about the psyche of your club after a really disappointing loss like this, similar to what you had against Wisconsin earlier this year?
Again, that's the job that I think is the strength of this staff, is take this and grow from it, just get better from it. And I love coaching these kids, and I love their resiliency. So we'll get back at work. We'll probably watch some film tomorrow and get away from us, take Tuesday off, and then we got to get ready for Penn State.
Trey Burke finished with 20 points. He had 4 assists. A lot of people were wondering, is this the decisive game for Big Ten Player of the Year? You don't vote for it. I do vote for it. I've already cast my vote. Tell me why Trey Burke, in your mind, was the best player in the Big Ten this year.
I think if you give Trey Burke, and we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of developing young talent. He has not been playing at the same time with an awful lot of guys that have great experience that you just play off of. And so he's really been outstanding all year long. And anybody's watched this closely, and they'll figure out who's really been a instrumental part of our success at being right where we are at Trey Burke.
Only one time this year he's had more turnovers than assists. Stay right there. When we come back, a preview of the Big Ten tournament. Michigan will play on Thursday, and they will open up against a team that most recently had one of the biggest upsets in college basketball this year, the Penn State Nittany Lions. We'll be back.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, mottchildren.org, and by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com.
We are 2013 Michigan Wolverines seniors.
One of the best things about college basketball is a learning experience. Michigan has learned a lot from its losses earlier this year. The most recent one to Penn State. Your team came together after that, started playing more like they did at the beginning of the season. You get them to open up the Big Ten tournament. Your thoughts on it?
Well, this team, Penn State's just been getting better all year. I actually saw some of that coming by watching them play. I saw a lot of their games, and they're fundamental. They got a bunch of guys just trying to win games. Nobody's got an agenda on the team. They're just trying to win a game. And you could tell by they went to Northwestern win, and they did everything but beat Wisconsin today. So they are a growing team that is going to be in the future, Matt. They got Frazier back with Marshall and with Newbill. They're going to have as good a 1, 2, and 3 man in the conference. So they're very good. We're going to have to play better than we did at State College, probably better than we did at home to win.
I think Ross Travis has added a little something for them as well. He's a big guy who loves to rebound and scratch and claw his way.
He's been getting 10
balls.
Rebounds over and over again. He got 10 against Wisconsin. You get at least 10 against Wisconsin. You get 10 against them, you're going to get it.
Do you think they have gained a great deal of confidence in beating you from before? Is that overplayed, do you think?
Absolutely. They will be ready to play, and we have to be ready to play. You just look around basketball. Whether it is right now, it is Kansas going down, losing to TCU. Yesterday, Oklahoma lost to TCU. Notre Dame's like in overtime, double overtime with DePaul. The teams are at the bottom of the conference. There's a reason they're there, but they practice every day too. They have scholarship guys too. They're working like crazy. And you take 19, 20-year-olds and just say, you got to come in. That's why we play the game. And so we have to be ready for this game.
Let's flip it. On the other side, maybe Michigan feels, your team feels like we let one get away from us at the Bryce Jordan Center earlier this year against the Nittany Lions, and there's extra incentive there. Is that too media?
No, I don't think there's any question about it. Our guys won't go into this game and look past Penn State. They know they're a pain in the neck to play, and they got to go out and we got to bring it all.
Coach, thanks. Good luck in Chicago.
I'm Doug Karsch for Inside Michigan Basketball. Still to come, we'll go inside the Wolverine locker room and hear from the players. Plus, we'll catch up to one of the NBA dads who knows what it's like trying to bounce back from a tough defeat.
Welcome back to Inside Michigan Basketball. 27 years ago this week, the Michigan basketball team won its second consecutive Big Ten crown. They beat Indiana at Chrysler Arena 80-52. The 28-point winning margin is Michigan's largest ever over the Hoosiers. The Big Ten champions were led by Roy Tarpley, who scored 21 on that day. Trey Burke almost matched that Roy Tarpley output. Burke had 20 on Sunday against the Hoosiers, 16 coming in the second half, but it wasn't enough as Michigan falls by 1. Doug Karsch was inside that somber locker room and talked to some of the players.
The Big Ten championship was hanging in the balance as Jordan Morgan's putback fell off the rim and the Wolverines suffered a 1-point loss to Indiana. The Wolverines had a hard time following the game, putting their emotions into words.
I don't even know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what to tell you guys. It hurts. You know, it's definitely a learning experience for our young guys, and we move on from here.
What about the last possession you guys had? What were you able to see?
It doesn't come down to the last possession. It comes down to the multiple things that happened before that. They had 27 offensive rebounds, and it's a disgrace for us and a disgrace for our fans, and you know that's what gave them the game.
What do you think you guys can do now to try and get some momentum back and improve going into the postseason?
I mean, we tried so many different ways. We just gotta find a specific way to get better and just try to stick with it. So, I mean, we're gonna watch the film tomorrow and just get better at it, and hopefully, you know, we come out with a victory on Thursday.
Take us through the emotions in the locker room right now.
It's a tough loss. And everybody's down, upset, but it's something we got to learn from and use it to our advantage in the next couple of games.
What about the last possession? Take us through it from your perspective.
I want to say that they went to Zeller, and I think he got a bucket, you know, and coach didn't call a timeout, so I went all the way to the basket and got a good look at it. J-Mo got a good look at the tip, and it went halfway in and halfway out, and, you know, that was it. It was over.
Obviously, free throw shooting a big part of this game. What can you guys do to try and improve that part in crunch time?
Just keep shooting free throws in practice. You know, we shoot free throws every day. The ball just didn't fall our way today.
Let's just talk about what you as a senior captain try and do to rally these guys.
You know, you got to let it sink in a little bit. When you put in as much time and effort and have a goal like that, you should be devastated because it should hurt. But we got another championship to win Thursday, so tomorrow when we come in and watch film, you know, you can't do anything about it. We'll move on and learn from it so it never happens again.
What do you say to some of the younger guys who are learning a lot right now?
You know, I just say it just shows you how we talk about the small things and how we do 3 tap drills and stuff like that. And you might take it for granted, but every little thing makes a big difference.
Just disappointment, man. Especially when you're right there and it's on the rim, and it just don't go down. It's just frustration, disappointment. We fought. I mean, you fight so hard, and then just in a second it's gone. So it's tough.
Saw Trey's shot go up. Take us through what you saw on that tip.
I knew they probably tried to block it. So, you know, just go hopefully get a second chance, and it just happened to bounce, you know, kind of close to me. And, you know, I put it up on the rim, and I thought, I mean, damn, it was in the basket, and it just came right back out. So it was like every emotion in like a second.
Timmy said it didn't come down to the last possession. It was the whole game, things that happened before then. Do you see it that way?
I mean, the last possession was tough, but like I said, it's just you never know which possession is when it counted. There was so many things that didn't go our way or that we didn't, you know, execute on that, you know, that could have been the difference. You know, one player here or there, it's a 1-point game, you know.
Immediately following the Wolverines' loss to the Hoosiers, we had a chance to catch up to somebody who's been there and done that at the NBA level.
Well, they all disappointed. You know, I've been there. You know, it's tough. It's tough. You do not want to hear anything. You do not want to talk to nobody. Only thing you could do as a parent, as a coach, is put your arms around them. You know, say good game, learn from it, and let's move on. That's all you can say. But they don't want to hear it, because I didn't want to hear it, but that's the way it is. And but you still got to comfort them, and you still got to talk to them and make them understand that, you know, it's not the end of the world.
You've been around, you've seen a lot of basketball. Can they get better somehow from this experience?
No question. No question. You learn from this experience, and you grow from this experience, and you come out and play each and every game like it's your last. You have to now. And, you know, you just got to go out there and let it all hang out. And you got to understand, you got to rebound the ball, and you got to make free throws. That's what win games. That's what win titles. And, you know, that's the way it is. But, you know, they're going to grow from it. The coach is going to teach them, and they're going to be all right.
And congratulations to Michigan alumni band director John Wilkins, who retires after 21 years in that role. John, leading the alumni band, made a name for himself, known for his enthusiasm and certainly his ability to dance at Yost and Chrysler Center. His final game was Michigan and Indiana. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Doug Karsch.
A little bit later on, a big game, of course, from Michigan, Indiana, and the college basketball fan base, but especially for the Wolverine fans. We'll explain what we mean coming up. But up next, how the women did in Chicago in the Big Ten tournament. Sophomore Nicole Elmblad scored a career-high 14 points to lead the women's team to a 67-40 blowout win over Indiana in their Big Ten tournament opener Thursday. Michigan scored the first 12 points of the game and got scoring from all 9 players to advance to quarterfinal play in suburban Chicago. That's where they face Michigan State for the 3rd time this season. The Wolverines never led and were unable to overcome multiple double-digit deficits. Nia Jordan led Michigan with 12 points and 7 boards, while Rachel Sheffer chipped in with 10 points. Michigan gets eliminated from the Big Ten tournament 62-46. They find out their NCAA tournament fate March 18th. When we come back, the Maize Rage shows just how dedicated they truly are. That story is right around the corner.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan Health System. Visit us at uofmhealth.org. And by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com.
It's amazing what this Michigan basketball team has been able to do on campus. Sure, it's a football school, but now basketball matters an awful lot as well. John Beilein's club won 25 regular season games, 12 games in Big Ten play, and 17 of their 18 games at Chrysler Center. The buzz was everywhere on campus this season, especially Saturday night when hundreds upon hundreds of students started lining up all the way around the Big House at 7:30 Saturday night to try and get into the 4 o'clock jump against Indiana on Sunday. John Beilein and company are pleased and happy and proud of what they've been able to accomplish this year. Those students line up really early. Why? Because the first 400 gets bleacher seats, and they get an opportunity to be part of that Maize Rage to try and make a difference against Indiana Sunday.
What time did we get here, dude?
We got here
like 2. We got here at 2:30 probably.
It was
no. We came at like what?
It was 1:59, but then when it turned to 2, we had the time change.
Oh yeah, then it jumped to 3. So we got here like 2 o'clock essentially, but 2 o'clock doesn't exist last night.
But it was 3 o'clock.
We've been to every game. We've had exams for some, so we haven't gotten to be in the bleachers. So we wanted to be first. And spring break, what else are you going to do on a Saturday night?
IU, let's go!
So I've had mine since I was a sophomore. I'm a senior now, and I'm retiring them. And it's very sad, but they've been to a lot of games, and I'm really excited because Maize and Blue, I bleed Maize and Blue, and these are the best overalls I've ever owned.
I have a biochem exam on Wednesday.
Isn't there better places to study than on the steps at Michigan Stadium?
I mean, I got to get in the Maize Rage. It's my last game. I'm a senior.
What you're seeing here is the Michigan experience. You know, these are students from all over the country who've come to this university who are going to learn and who are learning, make significant contributions to the state and to the world. But they also are having a great time connecting and making lifelong memories, sitting on these steps and spending time with their friends. This is what I remember when I was a student. You know, sitting in this stadium right here, making friendships, celebrating the Michigan traditions that they're going to have for the rest of their life.
Trey Burke said earlier last week that they made a difference for him and his team. You could feel the energy in the building and feel the difference in the Michigan play. That's it for this week's edition of Inside Michigan Basketball, the last regular season edition. We're glad you've joined us. We invite you back next week. We'll recap the Big Ten tournament as the Wolverines try and make amends for a lost opportunity in the regular season. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and go Blue.